All right. We are holding the Yud.ב Amud Aleph. Yud.ב Amud Aleph. So the Mishnah started about talking about Maseches, that you're not supposed to learn Maseches, the deepest part of Maseches, with three people. Yeah, and so basically the Gemarrah is talking about what happened in Maseches now. So we're not talking about in depth, but around the end of Maseches of the creation of the world. So we're holding up based on Aleph. Just when the big lines starts, the middle big lines. The last week we finished off saying that Hashem created 10 things on the first day. Unlike the kids come home from school with a project that says that on the first day Hashem created heaven and the earth, Hashem created 10 things. Hashem created Shemayim, V'od, that's heaven, earth, Toyu, V'voyu. Today we're going to talk about exactly what Toyu, V'voyu is. What exactly this Toyu, V'voyu in Puskum is. You know, I don't know if in English there's a word Toyu, V'voyu. No.
That's why it's always Puskum
in German, no, but in the English language, do you sometimes can you use Toyu, the actual word Toyu, V'voyu as a slang? I don't think in English. In German,
I think he's right. They call it the best.
In German, they actually, if they want to say that there is absolute chaos or what's it called, or there's nothing happening, and they use the term tohu vabo. They sometimes would use that. They would use those words, not the translation of it. Tohu vabo, yeah.
Not only they killed us and murdered us, they also took our
language.
There's a restaurant that played for that restaurant next to my house called Tachlis. Next to my parents' house called Tachlis. So there's a lot of interesting things. Tzodas, Tachlis, all these little bits. In any case, so the Eibishter created Toyu and created Vavoyu. Pust and Vis, emptiness, nothingness.
Which is interesting because if he created emptiness and nothingness, that means it's something.
Yeah, correct. That the concept of this is very difficult to understand unless you're not Chassidus. The concept of nothingness did not exist. The concept of emptiness did not exist before creation. Nothing existed.
Right.
Besides the Eibishter. So the Eibishter created all these things. So the Gemarrah says, what exactly is Toyu V'voyu? Tana. So the first line of the middle wide lines. Tana. Toyu, what's Toyu? Kav Yodek, a green line. Shemakiv es kol olam kuloi, that surrounds the entire world. Shemimeno yotza choshech, from this green line that surrounds the world, darkness comes out.
And infrared?
That doesn't explain exactly what this green line is, but there's a green line that surrounds the world, and that green line brings out the darkness. Shenema yoshes choshech sisloi svivoisov svivoisov. The Eibishter settles his dwelling place, Yoshes Chosh, in darkness. Svivoisov, and he surrounds himself with darkness. So basically, wherever the Eibishter rests, there's darkness around. It's not still clear that there's a line here, and the fact that it's green, there's no psukim that backs up the fact that this thing is green, but the fact that something surrounds the world, where the Eibishter dwells, something surrounds the world, and that darkness comes out, we have from this pasuk. Then the Gemarrah says, V'voyu. What's Voyu? Ela vonim hamefulomois hamushchois b'toim. These are stones that are saturated with wetness, with moisture, that are very deep in the ground. Shemehen yoitzin mayim. Eventually, the water that was created came out from those stones. Shenema v'nota oleo kav toyu ve'avne void. It says another pasuk that the Eibishter spread on it a kav, a line. Here we have the toyu is considered a line, kav toyu. Now we know, which from the pasuk before, that whatever spread around the world, darkness comes out. So we know that there's a line, but darkness comes out. Green, there's no source of why use the color green. I don't know what that means. Ve'avne voyu, and stones of voyu, that from it is the wetness, the moisture comes out. Okay. This is Toyu V'voyu. It doesn't go it doesn't go very deep exactly what this is, but this is what Toyu V'voyu is. Okay. Says the Gemarrah weiter. The Gemarrah asks a question. We said that on the first day of creation, the Eibishter created Shemayim V'od, heaven and earth, and oil v'choshech. So voin oil v'choshech, lightness and darkness. So Gemarrah kasha, we say on the fourth day of creation, we say that
This is the word.
on the fourth day of creation, we say that the Eibishter created, and the Eibishter is created the Mo'olos, the luminaries, and he put them in the skies. So when did Eibishter create the light? So the Gemarrah, yb.א-yb.ב, this statement before with the 10 things was said in the name of Yb.א-yb. Yb.א-yb says that oil was created on the first day. Oil was created on the fourth day. The Vaksiv, it says in the pasuk of Vayitin oisim elikim b'rikei hashamayim, the Eibishter put the shemesh nereach, the sun and the moon, in the 1 second. Vayitin oisim b'rikei hashamayim, the Eibishter put the sun and the moon into the heavens and to light up the world. So we see that it was created on the fourth day, not on the first day. So how does Raf say that it was created on the first day? This was on the fourth day, and for the Gemarrah, if the answer according to Rabbi Elazar, the light that the Eibishter created on the first day, the person can view the world from one end to the other end, not only physically but also far away. It was a very strong light. The Eibishter saw that there will be a generation, 2 generations in fact, the Mabul and the Flaga that will go against him, and he figured that if he leaves that huge light out for them, it's not going to be good. So what did he do? He hid it. He saw that the deeds that are not good. He hid the light. That he withheld from the Shoim their light. So now it says it didn't destroy the light or didn't eradicate it, but he hid it. Who did he hide it for? Who did he set it aside for? The mi gonzai, that tzaddikim la'aslav, tzaddikim Mashiach is going to come. Shenemar v'yar lekim es oil ketoiv, and the Eibishter saw that the oil is good. Ein toiv el tzaddik, and toiv is a tzaddik. Shenemar v'imu l'tzaddik, a toiv, tell a tzaddik because he's toiv. So a tzaddik is called toiv. V'yar lekim es oil ketoiv. The Eibishter saw on the first day that the oil is good for who? For a tzaddik. So we always say that the Mashiach is going to come. We're going to have oil shivas and mebereshis. This is basically what it means. The Eibishter took away the light on the first day of creation and hid it, set it aside. Mashiach is going to come. The tzaddikim are going to be in the hand from this light. They're going to enjoy this light. But here, before we go further, there's a little question that Moshe asks, a very interesting question. In the Torah it says that the first day the Eibishter created the Eibishter created choshech upon the Tohoim. Vayemru lekimihi oil. The Eibishter created light. So when the Gemarrah asks this question, why is the Gemarrah asking it only on Rav? The Gemarrah is saying, Rav, you say a statement that the Eibishter created light on the first day. It's not true. The Eibishter created light on the fourth day. The question is in the Torah itself. The Torah itself contradicts itself. The question should have been not the way the Gemarrah writes here. The light was created. The Gemarrah should have used a lashon the Gemarrah uses later on. Koshu kloya hadodi. There are 2 psukim that contradict each other, and it's nothing to do with Rav. It has to do with 2 psukim. One pasuk says the light was created on the first day. One pasuk says light was created on the fourth day. It's an issue with the psukim. It's not an issue with Rav. So the Malshah explains very geschmack. The Malshah explains that the issue is not really with the psukim. The issue, according to this, they all knew that the light was taka hidden. The issue was that Rav says in the last thing of the 10 things, Rav says that the Eibishter created not only light on the first day, but midas yoyim midas lailot, the amount of time that the daylights are shining and the amount of time that the night is happening. So midas yoyim midas lailot, the measurement of day, measurement of night, which basically means to tell you that on the first day, the Eibishter not only created light, but also used whatever tools, he created whatever tools needed to give us limitations, which is usually that's the sun and the moon. The sun tells us it's day, the moon tells us it's night. And here's a question: how can Rav say that not only the Eibishter create light, the Eibishter also created the limitations of light and darkness? When does the sun go up and when does the light go off and when does the darkness come on? That really happened on the fifth day, on the fourth day when the Eibishter put them on the sky. So of them, the Gemarrah says, okay, no. So here's what I'll tell you: that the truth is, the Eibishter Taka created the light and created the limitations, and then the Eibishter took all of it away. According to that, he took everything away because he saw that this doesn't work out. Then the Eibishter created a new light and created its limitations, the sun and the moon. That wasn't the fourth day. So the Psukim are they're not contradicting. The Eibishter can create light on the first day. The Eibishter can create light on the fourth day. They're not contradicting with each other. What we have to understand is, according to that, he say that the limitations, which the luminaries, the sun and the moon, were created on the first day as well. That explained to me how that works with the Psukim that says that it was created on the fourth day. That's what the Mashal explains. Okay. Okay. Kivan Shalah oil. As soon as the light saw that the light was hidden, it was put away for tzaddikim. Samach, the light, it rejoiced. Shenemar oy tzaddikim yismach. The light became happy for the tzaddikim because he realized that he's being put away for tzaddikim. The Gemarrah says here another thing. Katanoim. This fact, whether the light was created, taken away, and then a new light was created, or it was something else, is actually Machlokes Tanoim. The light the Eibishter created, you can see. There's a massive light you can see. Rabbi Yaakov says this light was created on the first day. It was massive, and because it was too big, and the Shoyim are going to sin, and they may use this light for something. Therefore, the Eibishter put it away. That's Rabbi Yaakov's shita, and that's Rav's shita also in our Gemarrah. The Chachamim disagree. No, the light that we see today and the light that Eibishter created in the first is the same light. To give a much simpler explanation, that it says actually in Gemarrah and it says in other places, that Rashi brings it down in Bereshis, that oil v'choshech, darkness and light, for the first couple of days, they surfed together. It was a mixture. And when the Eibishter saw that it doesn't work out, we can't have this mixture of darkness and that doesn't make sense, the Eibishter split it. Sun for the day, moon for the night, darkness goes with the moon, light goes with the sun. So basically the Eibishter split it. So the Eibishter created the light on the first day, the same light, didn't change the light at all. He created one light and that's it. The Eibishter saw for the first 4 days something was happening that's not really working out. So the Eibishter went and split it and put the sun during the day and the moon at night. That's the Chachamim shita. Okay, Amar Avzuta, a new thing. Amar Avzuta, 3 lines from the widest lines. Amar Avzuta, Batovi Amar Rav, Basad Dvarim Niva Ha'olam. With 10 things, the Eibishter created the world, in 10 different midas. B'chachma, with wisdom, with tvuna, and with knowledge. With tvuna, with understanding. B'das, with knowledge. B'koyach, with strength. B'ga'oda, with rebuke. B'gvuda, with might. B'tzedek, with mishpat, with righteousness and justice. The chesed of Rachmim, with kindness and mercy. The Eibishter created the world with all different midas in order to make the world survive. Hashem b'chachma yasad. That is the Eibishter with chachma. He founded the world. Koinen shemayim. Koinen means he established shemayim, the skies, the heavens, b'tvuna, with wisdom, with understanding. Then the pasuk goes right and says b'das. Adam and Eibishter created the world with das dachsiv bedatoi tehoimis nifko. With his wisdom, the Eibishter split the depths. Bekoyach begvura, with might and strength. Dachsiv mechen hadam bekoyach. Mechen doesn't mean prepare; it means koinen, like established. He established mountains with his might. Neza begvura, neza. We say every morning. Oiza is labetafal. Oiza means that he surrounds the world with gvura, with might. Bega'ah, with rebuke, this is a pasuk in Yov. Yov was telling people that you can't compare to the Eibishter, because the Eibishter, if he wants to, he can do whatever, you can shake things up. And he says, Amud Shemayim Yafafu, the pillars of the heavens, of the world, basically, Yafafu became weak, became not secure. Vayitmu, and they were wondering, from the fact that the Eibishter could rebuke the heavens and its pillars that's holding up the heavens. So basically we see that the Eibishter did create could create, or did create part of the world with rebuke. B'tzedek u'mishpat, with righteousness and justice. T'chsiv tzedek u'mishpat m'choyin kisecha. This is a pasuk we say that the on Rosh Hashanah, that tzedek u'mishpat, righteousness and justice, is m'choyin kisecha, is the place where his chair rests. B'chesed v'nachmim, with mercy and kindness. T'chsiv z'choy l'achmecha Hashem. Remember the rachamim, the mercy. V'chasadecha, and your kindness, because they are here forever from when the world was created. So the Eibusha created the world with all these things. Another statement in the name of Rav. When the world Eibusha created the world, the Eibusha took the world. He created it almost like the Eibusha created a bundle, a spool of wool. And if you roll the spool, it's called spool, right? Then you roll it, then the line becomes bigger. The ball rolls, but there's a bigger line. So the Eibusha made it of two things, and the Mashal explains here: one is made of fire, and one is water, Eish Shamayim, Chesed Gvura, and all these beautiful things, and which is basically represents also the Eibusha started creating the Beishis Ba'alakim. In the beginning, the Eibusha created with Midas Adin, and he saw that the world is not going to survive if it only goes according to Midas Adin, which is too strong. So the Eibusha put Midas Adachmim in it. But this basically these two spools are that's what it refers to. And basically, he created this thing of ball of something, and they just spread out. They started spreading out all over the place, and the world was getting bigger and bigger. Until the Eibusha said enough, and whatever they stopped, and that's the world we have. Again, we see the same pasuk that the pillars of the heavens were weak, and they're wondering from the Galasiv, why did the Eibusha scream to stop? I am Keil Shakai. I am the one Shemati La'olamai Dai. I said enough. I told the world enough spreading out. And that's basically these two spools, these two balls of something the Eibusha created, and they spread out. Now the same thing also when the Eibusha created the water. The water was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The Yam, the oceans. Until the Eibusha screamed at it, and it dried up. The Eibusha screamed at the ocean, and he dried it up. And all the rivers, he also made it dry. What does this mean in reference to us? What's the oceans now? I don't know. I tried looking it up. There's actually it's actually explained that there's another time where it says that. About screaming in a yam, that's what talks about Yam Suf. The Eibusha screamed at Yam Suf, and it stopped and it dried out. And again, I guess that the Eibusha then let the Yam go back to its shape that it is today, or not. I don't know. In any case,
Maybe those are the challenges. Things like that.
The Eibusha said stop.
Backwards and forwards, yeah.
And
these things could keep overwhelming you, but Hashem eventually tells it.
yeah, I not see it, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah. But then if the Eibusha said stop, it should have stopped. The Tidus of us should stop.
You get it because there's a certain reason behind it, but it could like, let's say once you finish one challenge, all of a sudden the next one springs upon you like straight away, but it doesn't. It takes like a little bit of time before another one starts.
Does that happen? Halavai? Amen. Okay, says the Gemarrah weiter. Here comes a very interesting Gemarrah. Tana Rabbanim. What was created first? Shamayim or Aretz? Beishis Ba'alakim as a Shamayim as Aretz. What was created first? B'Shama say Shamayim Nivru Tchila, that the heavens, the skies were first created. And only afterwards the earth was created. Shenema Beishis Ba'alakim as a Shamayim as Aretz. Clear pasuk. B'Silayim name. The land was created first. Only afterwards was the heaven created. Right away when I learned this, I'm like, what difference does it make? Basham and Basil always argued according to halacha, right? That to work something out. What's the nafkamina? So I found something that's very, very interesting. I'll get to it in a moment. Shnema. What is Basil's reasoning saying that the Eretz was created, the land? Shnema b'yoyim asois avaylekim. The day the Eibusha did what? Eretz v'shamayim, land and heavens. So basically, the Eibishter created, according to Basil, the Eibishter created first Eretz.
But it's the very first pasuk. You're bringing a later pasuk to it. Very first pasuk in the Torah.
Okay, you're right. Right. So the Gemara is going to ask that. Doesn't make sense. So again, we're having an issue here with two verses that contradict each other. Okay, hold that thought. Sagt die Gemara weiter. Okay. Omen b'shamay b'sil. B'shamay turns into b'sil says to b'shamay. Ledivreichem. If it's according to you, I want to ask you something logically. Adam boine aliyah v'acha boine bais. When a person builds a house, does he first build the attic and then he builds the house underneath it? For sure, the same thing also. The Eibishter first he created the earth and then he put the shemayim on top, put the heavens on top. You don't build a roof and an attic before you build the first floor. Shenema haboine b'shamayim ma'al yosef. He calls the shamayim is an aliyah, something higher. Va'agudasoi al eretz esada, and his gathering or something is on the ground. Basically, the shamayim is considered a aliyah, is a second floor or an attic, but it's based on what? It's based on the eretz, which is on the ground. So Basila says the Eibishter first created eretz, the land, and only then did he create shamayim. So Basil says no. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you first create a stool for you to raise your feet before you make the chair? Usually you make a chair, and now that you know the height that the chair came out, you want to make a stool to rest your feet upon, the same height as the chair. You can't make a stool before you build a chair. So basically, the Shemayim is in the chair. Why is the Shemayim in the chair? Because it says in the pasuk, Shenema koi olam Hashem Shemayim kisi, the heavens, the Shemayim is my chair. The ha'aretz and the land hadei magli is where my feet go. So Mela, the Eibishter, any person that wants to create a chair and then a footrest, first you build a chair and then you footrest. So basically, B'Shem and Basil have an argument. What came first? Now here we asked a good question. What do you mean what came first? First of all, it's not an argument B'Shem and Basil. It's not their opinion, so to say. It's a pasuk. It's a problem in the psukim. One pasuk says the Reish Balakim as a shemayim b'sadas, and the other pasuk says b'yoyim asayis as a shemayim. So what's going on over here? So before we go to that, say a different shita. They are created together. Shenema af yodi yasda. My hand also created or established, founded the others, the land. V'yamini, in my right hand, tivcha shemayim. He created the shemayim. So basically, the pasuk says, the pasuk continues and says, if I call them Yamdu Yachtov, they all rise together. Why do they rise together? Because they have no preference. They're both created in the same time. Shemayim ve'oretz are both created in the same time. So that's Chacham Meshita. They were both created at the same time. So now the Gemara is first going to say, okay, so that's a very nice pasuk. So what is B'Sham Basil going to say? Why do they argue that something was created first or last if you have a pasuk that they all rise together at the same time? The Idov, B'Sham Basil are going to say, Ma Yachdov. What does it mean together? They don't separate each other from one another. Wherever the heavens finishes, that's where the earth starts. Wherever the earth finishes, that's where the heaven starts. It's all a globe, it's all connected. So it doesn't separate from each other. Wherever there's going to be a heaven, there's going to be earth. Wherever there's earth, there's going to be heaven. But now we have a question. It's a problem. There's two psukim that Pashat argue. It's not even so much B'Sham Basila's argument. It's the psukim are arguing. Shlakish, which comes many generations after B'Sham and Basil. Shlakish was in a Moedan, B'Sham Basil were Tanoim. So Shlakish comes and says, let me tell you something. He's going to make a pshat. He's going to work something out. But Eibishter created it. No, Eibishter created Shemayim first. But Eibishter gave us a Shemayim. The Achkach, and afterwards, Balatz, he created the others. When the Eibishter spread it out, like I said before, the Eibishter created a ball and it spread out. Yeah, the Eibishter created a small thing and then it spread out to both the Shemayim and others. So that spreading out, the Eibishter first started with the others and then the Shemayim.
I can understand this a little bit in the Google. If you go like this, it becomes a tiny ball.
And then he's
If you
been
spread it out.
So here there's a very long mashal, but a very interesting mashal. It covers like a half a page, and it goes into weaves. And when I was looking at this, and I was thinking about with the Chabad Chassidim, so the Rebbe has this whole thing about Beshamai and Besilel, right? The Rebbe spoke many times about the difference between Beshamai and Besilel, that the machloikas, the argument, is based on one thing, and you can go through all the machloikas in the Gemarrah, and you will see that they're all based on the same concept. There's a few, 3-4 concepts that Rebbe brings down. One of them is klal blatt, so Sikha and Pashas Tumah, klal blatt, that you have. Beshamai doesn't really dwell so much on the detail. They look at the bigger picture. Besil looks at the details, has to make sure everything is fit. The other thing is koyach and poil. The most famous one is koyach and poil. The Hanukkah, the Beshamai lights 8 candles and it goes down from 8. Why? Because it's 8 days of Hanukkah. We know we can light this. It's bekoyach. It could happen. Everything that could because something is already there. So therefore, we can rely on the koyach of something that's potential. Beshamai lies in the potential. Besilel is the poyas to see TOT what's happening now. Therefore, Besilel you light the first night 1 candle because tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. Second night 2 candles, and so on. So Beshamai goes yb.א-יב.ב, the days that are going out 8-7, and Besilel the other way. So here I think when I was thinking about it, what's the machlek of Beshamai Besilel really? So the Mashal explains something, and I think we can tie it in with the Rebbe Sikha. So Mashal explains basically this: where exactly does the Shlokish come in over here and starts taking a side with the Beshamai Besilel? The Shlokish is an Amayla. He cannot take a side. Beshamai Besilel, he can say that he's basically coming to say there's an issue with 2 psukim are contradicting each other. I'll tell you how it works out. The Eibusha created Shemayim first. What do you mean the Eibusha created Shemayim first? Besilel says no. So you can say my shitta is, and I disagree with Besilel, but you're not coming to say that. You're coming to say there's a difficulty between 2 psukim. I'll tell you what the difficulty, how we can work this out. So the Mashal explains this is really beautiful. I'm not going to go through it because it's a real long Mashal. It's a real long Mashal. But the Mashal explains like this. He brings someone else tries to explain something else, and then he explains the Machlokes and Shabbos in a different way. But it says they all believe that the Eibusha created Shemayim Vados at the same time. Their Machlokes is what is more important? Is Shemayim more important? Is others more important? Is the Pnimi more important? Is the Chitzon more important? It says the Shemayim was created as a makif, as a shell around the world. And all the things that what Beshamai and Besilel bring is connected to this. So Beshamai says, look, the Eibusha, if you want to create a world, if you don't Chas v'Shalom want it to be destroyed, we have to create a shell, we have to create a protection around it. So first the Eibusha created its protection, because if you would create without the protection, there would be a chance that the world will be destroyed right away, or something would happen. You have to first protect it. So you create the protection, that's the Shemayim. Again, the Eibusha created both together, but what was more important? So he says what's more important is the Shemayim, because that protects the Pnimi, that protects the inside. And the same thing also he says with the stool sitting and the footstool, it's the same concept. What's the same concept? The stool, the footstool is useless unless there's a chair. So if you want to create a footstool, it's useless. You're not going to have any use. Just like the world is not going to have use if there's no Shemayim. The earth is not going to have use. So first you have to create the main thing, which is the protection, the shell, the Shemayim, the kissa, the chair. Only then can he create the inside. Oh, I'm sitting down, I want to put my feet up, I can put it up. So that's Beshamai Shita. Besilel says no. The Pnimi, the inside, is more important. The earth is more important. The whole reason the Eibusha created this world is because of this world down here. Not in Shemayim, we're not doing mitzvahs in Shemayim. We're doing mitzvahs down here. The Eibusha created the world down here. So that is more important. Yes, the Eibusha created both of them at the same time. The Eibusha created both, but what is more important? Besilel says, I'm looking at the what's the pnimi, what's important, what we're doing here. And I when I saw that, I thought of the 2 things that the Rebbe says about Shittas Beshamai Besilel, koyach and poil. So Beshamai looks at the koyach potential. Potentially, something bad can happen to the world. Potentially, we need to protect the world. So therefore, I'm going to create the shell first. So he looks at the koyach, the potential, not what's happening now. Besilel says no. We look at what was the reason Eibusha created this? It's for this world down here. So that's more important. The same thing also with klal and blatt, obviously, because the world down here has so many more details than the Shemayim over there. So therefore, I think that ties in with the Rebbe's Shita. And that's in short Mashal. It's a long Shemaka Mashal going back and forth. But obviously we don't have. I don't think we have time for that. Zag Gemarrah weiter. Zag Gemarrah weiter. And this basically explains also that the Gemarrah says that B'Sham and Basil have machlokes with each other. It's not a machlokes with each other. There's psukim that contradict itself. The way the Mashal explains it is there's no psukim contradicting. They both agree that Shemayim V'Aretz was created together. They both agree. The question was: does the first pasuk B'Reishis B'Alakim Shemayim V'Aretz, does that show us what is more important, or is V'yoyim Asois Elikim the actual thing when it happened, that it says that the earth was before the Shemayim, is that more important? Okay. Says the Gemarrah weiter. And by this, our answer is also that Shlokish comes to say its own separate thing. It has nothing to do with B'Sham Misil. He doesn't come to answer their question because they don't have such a question. B'Sham Misil don't have a problem with the Psukim, and Shlokish doesn't come to save them. Shlokish comes to say it's a separate thing. Okay, Zad the Gemarrah weiter. Mai Shamayim. What exactly is Shamayim? Amar Rabbi Yosi B'Chanina Shesham Mayim. Shamayim means over there is water. The Basnisatan and the Braisa we learned Eish Umayim. Shah Mayim, if you pronounce it, you hear there's something else between the shin and the mem. It's Shah Mayim, it could be there, and Shah, if you turn it around, it turns into Eish. So Shah Mayim is fire and water. And this connects with what I said before. The Eibishter created these two little things, and they spread out, which is Chesed Gvula, Mayim, Eish Mayim, all these things. That's what it refers to. The Eibishter created Shah Mayim is Shah Mayim, Eish Mayim. Melamed She'evina Kadosh Baruch Hu v'taf mezeh, the Eibishter combined them together. The Asam Mekia, and from it, the Eibishter made the spreading of the skies. Shol Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Shmuel asked Rabbi Kiva Hashem Alach B'derech. They're walking. Amalei. Ato sheshimashta es Nachem Mishgamza Chov B'Shana. You served Nachem Mishgamza for 22 years. Rabbi Shmuel tells Rabbi Kiva, tell me something that he said. Shehoyo Deresh Kol Esen Shabbatayla. There's machlokes whether if you have a pasuk, if the word Eis and Es is, you can learn something out of it, or you cannot. There's Doirish Esin and not Doirish Esin. Are you going to use the Es for a Dvush or not? So Nachem Mishgamzu took every single Es and Es in the Torah and said, I can learn something out of it. So he asked, Rabbi Shmuel asked Rabbi Kiva, let's start from the beginning. Bereishis Ba'alakim Es HaShemayim V'es HaAretz. He could have said, Bereishis Ba'alakim Shemayim V'Aretz. Why did he say Es HaShemayim V'es HaAretz? So I asked him, Es HaShemayim V'es HaAretz, my Doirish. Then what did he say? Amalei, he said like this: if you would say Bereishis Ba'alakim in the beginning, Elikim created Shemayim V'Aretz, that Shemayim is not the heavens, the skies, the Aretz is not the land, the earth and land. Shemayim and Aretz is Shmoysa Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that the names of the Eibishter. So again, here it's very difficult to understand this without learning the Mashal. The Mashal explains that you would read it this way: Bereishis Ba'alakim, in the beginning the Eibishter created. Elikim is the creator but he needed workers, he needed physical things to continue creating. So the Eibishter created, this you would have thought, created two entities that are part of the Eibishter, and their names are Shemayim V'Aretz. Bereishis Ba'alakim, in the beginning, Elikim, the Kedusha, the Elikim created two other Kedushas, called Shemayim and called Aretz, and anything later that happened was created from those entities. And now, that's what we would have thought.
That's what the Marshal explains.
That's what Marshal explains, yeah. Ilu nema Shemayim V'Aretz, Yisi Omer Shemayim V'Aretz, Shmoysa Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Achshav Shnema Es HaShemayim, their heavens, V'es Aretz, and their land. It's not an entity. Now it's something. There's something physical. Shemayim Mamash, and Eretz is Eretz Mamash. So now, if that's the case, you can say Bereishis Ba'alakim Es HaShemayim V'Aretz. The Eibishter created the heaven and earth. Why the heaven and the earth? What's the second is? V'es Aretz Lamali Lahagdim Shemayim V'Aretz. They come to tell you that indeed Shemayim was created before the Aretz. If the Eibishter would have said Shemayim V'Aretz in one where the Eibishter created heaven and earth, then yes, we would say they were created together. But if now that you say SS, they're actually created in a Seder. Shemayim first and Aretz second. This contradicts what we said before, and it's a different shitta. It's fine. It's a different shitta that says that it goes according to what Beshamai says, and it means literally that the Shemayim Ba'aretz was created first. Okay, the second pasuk. The pasuk says the Eibishter created Shemayim and the Eibishter created Aretz. Then it would make sense that the Eibishter start speaking. Okay, what's happening in the heavens? What does the second pasuk say? The Aretz, the land, was soy v'voyo. Why do you mifti b'Shemayim asked b'Resha? You first created Shemayim. Why do you start talking about Maseches before Shemayim? So we learned in the Yeshiva of Shmuel, example of a Melech Bas Adam. He told all his servants, tomorrow morning, wake up early. Whoever wakes up, whatever. He didn't tell them what will happen, but wake up early. Hishkim, he woke up in the morning, next day he woke up early. Mata, Noshim, Vanoshim. And he found there men and women. Who does he praise first? The one that doesn't usually get up in the morning early. Who is that? The woman. The women you don't have to wake up early, but therefore the Eibishter, the Melech Bas Adam, the king, praises the woman first. The same thing also with the Aretz. Aretz is the more physical thing. It's the heavier thing. It's a thing that weren't expected to be so lofty, so holy, so important. So that's what the pasuk starts with it, to tell you that even though yes, it may be more physical, and it says that the in Shemayim everything moves faster. In the earth and land because it's physical. Newton's laws, everything it moves slower. So basically, we start with it to tell you. We start with it to tell you that the Shemayim and Aretz actually have the similar standing, even though this may be slower, might be heavier. The Eretz, but it still has a similar standing. Sunday Yab Shmuel. No, sorry. What?
Tanya Rabbi Yossi.
Tanya Rabbi Yossi said, "Oilan abriya sherois v'nedayim malois." Woe is to the creations that see and don't know what they see. They stand and they don't know what they are standing upon. The Gemarrah is not going to really go and tell us this what the seeing part is, but it tells us what the standing is. What are we standing on? We're standing on the ground right now. What are we standing on exactly? Oh, it's a Maseches. What does the land, the earth, stand on? Maseches alamudim, on pillars. Shenema hamagis eretz mkoima. There's again a pasuk in Yov, and he again describes that the Eibishter, if he wants to, he can move things around. The Eibishter can upset the world. I lost this. Hamagis eretz mkoima v'amudei is palotzon. That the Eibishter, one second, pasuk gimel, all the way on top here. He can shake up its amudim. He can shake up the pillars of the world, of the Aretz. So now we see that the Aretz is standing on pillars. And then what do the pillars stand on? Amudim al mayim, they stand on the water. Shenem eloika Aretz al hamoyim. The Eibishter spread out the Aretz on top of the water, which means it's standing on top of the pillars. We just said it's standing on pillars. Those pillars are standing on top of the water. Mayim, what do the water stand on? Al hadim, on mountains. Shnema al harim yamdamoyim, on top of mountains he puts water. Hadim, the mountains are standing on ruach, on the wind. Shnema kehina yoytze harim uboy ruach. He created mountains and he formed mountains and created ruach. And basically the yoytze harim depends on the boy ruach. It stands on the wind. Ruach v'sa'ala, the ruach, the wind is independent, is upon the storm. Shenema ruach sa'ala is that a stormy wind does the Eibishter's words. Sa'ala, and the storm teluya b'zoyesh Kadosh Baruch Hu hangs on the hand of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shenema u'mitachas zoyes oilam. Underneath the Eibishter is the hands of the world that we're holding on the whole entire world is suspended in the Eibishter's hands. So basically, he's saying that if we would know that what we physically stand on is partial in the Eibishter's hands, if we would think about it, we would probably change, and therefore, oilahem, woe is to them that they don't pay attention to it. Chacham say that, one second. Chacham say that it's not only, it doesn't say, before the pasuk doesn't say how many pillars it stands on. Chacham say, ayud beis amudim amedes, on 12 pillars. Shenema yatsev kvula samim, the Eibishter strengthens, or he steadies the borders of all the nations, basically the world, lemispa b'nei Yisrael, according to the numbers, to the general numbers of the Eden, which is 12 shvatim. V'yeshim, other people say no, it's not 12 amudim, it's zayin amudim. Zayin amudim shenema chotzva amodeh shiva. He carved out, it's from out of rock, 7 pillars. Only on one pillar it stands. But tzaddik shmoi, and the pillar is called tzaddik shnem. But tzaddik is soid oilam. The tzaddik is the foundation of the entire world. So everything stands upon the tzaddik. Amar Yab.א-yb.b. We're going to finish with that. What time is it? Amar Yab.א-yb.b. Shnei rekim. Yeah, we'll do it next week. It goes into a whole other thing.